Hello, so could you please introduce yourself?
Yes, I'm Marko Athisaari. I'm head of design at Nokia. I head the design studio with both the industrial design, physical design of the phones, and the user experience design of the core UI and apps.
Okay. Could you please talk to us about the design process behind the latest Symbian 3 device? Has anything changed between Nokia C7 or N8 and the N97 a year ago?
Yeah. I think clearly what we've introduced with this family of Symbian 3 devices is kind of meaningful choice for people, both in terms of price and then product industrial design. I think my current favorite is the C7, which shows in a way the direction of, from an industrial design point of view, very much a language where we kind of combine this digital face of the product and a very human sculpted back, and that also shows in the C6. So what we want to give is meaningful choice, so it's not only one kind of phone, but essentially a platform that's rolling out and that's interesting for developers.
Okay, so regarding developers, what are the main challenge for Nokia today regarding the developer attraction and this kind of thing?
I think the key challenge, as I was speaking out here, is kind of to win in the mind share game and in the conversation. And that's, I think that's a challenge when a lot of the discourse on technology has moved to, or been in the United States. And I think we have to, at LeWeb, which is a great European networking and ecosystem event, reignite confidence in European networks of developers and the ability to create a European platform. And so I think that's one challenge. I think right now we have very good reactions to Qt as a developer environment, and we're really getting the developer offer clearer as we go out, and ramping beautiful products that people buy, and so that gives us reach as well.
What is important on the design? What is your first challenge, or your first the first thing you think about when you try to imagine a new device regarding the design point of view?
It's interesting, as you may know, my background is in the design of user interfaces and software. So I tend to think about the products holistically as an operating system design. So how one example, which is from our mobile phones, which I'm particularly proud of the team and the work of the team there, is the Nokia X3. It's not a Symbian phone, but we combine the ITUT keypad, the key mat, with a touch screen. So we evolved the whole product that way. I think I'm interested in these interaction patterns. How do we make better one-handed use? Then the other side of it is it has to both be recognizable and then feel great in the hand. So I think we're really, from a product design point of view, trying to find that great intersection between the human and the advanced in the product application.
And let's talk about if you agree about the user interface design.
Yeah.
During the latest year, Nokia has been highly criticized, in particular Symbian,
yeah.
Especially Symbian, regarding his old user interface, which is, according to some people, less attractive than recent user interface such as Android or iPhone OS. What is the main challenge, and where is the road you want to take regarding the change in the UI for Symbian and other Nokia device?
It's a good question. What I was saying in my introductory comments here at LeWeb is that in terms of the design of a smartphone operating system, I think we are just at the beginning of this phase in the industry. And what I mean by that is it's more like where the car industry was in the 1890s, when, if you recall, cars had pillars like boats, right? It took 15 years for cars to establish steering wheels as the dominant design of the user interface of a car. I think we're at the beginning of that process. So this means there are clearly patterns like the Symbian pattern and the Android pattern, which, by the way, from a design point of view, the operating system design, they're very similar. They're personalizable home screens that you make use of over time. As far as renewing the Symbian experience, there'll be a lot and much faster updates coming on all of the new Symbian 3 devices, including a lot of visual freshness, and I think that'll liven things up quite a bit.
With the recent changes on the Symbian operating system and Symbian Foundation, you plan to make updates available from the OS on each Symbian 3 device?
Exactly. More updates as we go forward.
Can we expect some graphical changes on the user interface on the device currently on the market?
Definitely.
Radically changes or slight changes, slight graphical changes?
I think people will notice a very modern, contemporary approach.
Okay, because as planned, Symbian 4 has to be the complete overall change on the user interface, Symbian user interface, and so it is still the case. You're still planning to introduce major graphical updates on Symbian
I think we'll continue. The evolution will be much more iterative and quicker, rather than talking about always next huge thing, right? And I think we'll take, again, elements of this human advance, somewhat a little bit playful elements, and bring that and refresh it visually. So I think people will recognize it as very contemporary.
So you are willing to leave behind some people used to the old Nokia interface, to move beyond and to offer something new, radically new, because it was the challenge of Symbian. Yeah. You have to stay close to the old Nokia user interface to keep the people attracted, old people attracted, and to offer something new. So are you willing to left this kind of process and to only try to bring some new component and new?
Definitely yes. To make something new, you have to leave something behind. What I would say is we want to emphasize easy and great access to those things that people do most of the time, which for most smartphones has become increasingly difficult. So that includes things like calling and the things you do every day. That doesn't mean that all we do with them, of course, this is not a conservative thing. It's rather, it's a smartphone, but it is still a phone. So keeping certain patterns of behavior, but leaving many behind so that we can renew.
Okay.